guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to Let's Play Arcade Spirits. When we last left our protagonist, Ari Cater, she'd ignored her friend's advice to try a life coach app, and had instead given up on her dreams and lived out the rest of her life as a corporate drone. And as an office girl, I totally do not feel personally attacked. Yeah, so today we're going to give Ari a second chance and have her use the app this time. Okay, so I went back through the game up to this decision point. So I'm sure you all probably I should have saved the game before the save point so I could easily go back. And yeah, you would be absolutely right. I should have thought of that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still new to playing the game, so I'll definitely have to keep that in mind for the next time. So let's just get right down to it. I'm gonna go ahead and say, give the weird little app a shot. Figuring at the very least her miracle app could possibly help me find a job, I load it up, tap the icon, and... Hello! Okay, see, that's what I mean. Anybody else would freak out over a cute girl climbing out of their phone. Me, I went, huh? Also, it's one of those new kind of 3D screens, so, you know, not actually magical realism here. Very normal in the distant future year 20XX.
Downloading Iris, your personal life coach. This is the ad-supported free version. Sponsored by Pizza Yums. Did you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime? Wow. Would you like to subscribe to Pizza Facts?
Yeah. Sure, I'll subscribe to Pizza Facts.
Thank you for subscribing to Pizza Facts. I'm here to help you get your dream job, your dream house, and your dream partner. I'm here to make all your dreams come true.
Pretty tall order for an app to do. Or are you some sort of wish-granting genie? Well, I suppose in the modern parlance, a massively interconnected database searching virtual assistant could be considered a kind of genie in a bottle. But honestly, all I can do is give you the chance to improve your life. What you do with it is up to you. I can cross-reference search data for you, but without motivation, you won't get anywhere. I glanced up from my phone at the heaps of laundry and half-finished books and other items strewn about my apartment. Motivation is something I have a ton of. Honest.
Hooray!
That's super! I'm really looking forward to working with you. Before we begin, do you have any questions? Sure. Why should I use this app at all? I mean, my phone already has a voice-activated assistant AI. I can just say, hey phone, search the web for job listings, and it'd work just as well. But I have an advanced emotional language interpreter. I'm smarter than the average program, with more heart. I can help you sort your life out by analyzing your personality and finding you a perfect path in life, all thanks to my glorious, wondrous, patent-pending, super-duper identity identifier system. Between you and me, they really, really wanted an acronym that matched my name, but they couldn't figure out what to do with the letter R. Would you like to learn more? Yeah, sure. Give me the sales pitch. Every time you think about saying something, I can tag it with an identity. That way you can be the sort of person you want to be. This system allows me to better understand who you are and what you need from life. I do this by analyzing your tone, inflection, and word choice. I can spot 5 different identity identifiers in your responses to people. Quirky, steady, kindly, gutsy, and basically. Sounds to me like your programmers also wanted a bunch of things ending in Y. That's correct! My branding game is on point! Quirky responses use jokes, snark, and sarcasm to make light of a situation. Just the thing for picking up someone's spirits, but a badly timed joke may not win over the room. Steady responses are sincere, honest, and logical. When you stop and think before speaking, you're on steady ground, but that might not take someone's feelings into account. Kindly responses are compassionate and empathetic, and gentle in nature. They're careful with the feelings of others, but sometimes they're a bit wishy-washy as a result. Gutsy responses go with your gut. When you're brash, bold, risk-taking, and instinctive, you're gutsy. But it also means being blunt, confrontational, and aggressive, so be careful. Lastly, you can always take a basically option. It's a balanced and neutral response, safely moving conversation along while learning more and digging deeper. Over time, I'll build up a personality profile for you based on the identity identifiers detected in your speech. Maybe you'll be predominantly quirky, genuinely steady, a mix of both. Who knows? It's up to you. Okay, I've got to say, I'm really sorry I'm stumbling over all of these words, especially identity identifiers. For some reason, that's really hard for me to say. So I will try to keep going with that. So, what? You're saying I should always try to crack jokes or be super gutsy? Oh, and never speak basically. I mean, being basic's bad, right? It sounds bad.
Nope.
Oh, heck no. They're all useful in the right context. There are no bad choices. Consider what you could say and go with what feels right in the moment. Don't limit yourself. Sure, you could gamify your personality, but it's more fun to just let it happen naturally, you know? Just be you. Now, let's see my patent-pending identity identifier system in action. How do you feel about dad jokes? I jokes, I'm dad. I don't tell non-jokes, sorry. What's a dad joke? I feel like my character is a little bit clueless, so I'm gonna just say, what's a dad joke? What's a dad joke? My dad told plenty of jokes, but I don't remember him having any particular style. Oh, it's when you tell a really obvious old-fashioned joke. What, like, Gadzooks, have you seen these newfangled flush toilets and electric light bulbs? They're the devil's work, my good chap. Not exactly, but I like your style. So, now that you've seen the identity indicators in action, do you want to see the indicators like that so you can make an informed decision? If not, I can hide the indicators. Keep it a surprise. That way, it doesn't influence your decision-making. It's up to you. You know what? No, I want to hide the indicators. What will be. So mysterious. Okay, I'll hide them from you. You'll always be able to spot basically responses, though. Anyway, as we go along, I'll analyze and tally your identity identifiers. In fact, let me show you now.
Good work.
Will you look at that? Such a strong personality, she says as I have, like, one basic bar, but okay. You asked me a single question. Yeah, see, me and Ari are on the same wavelength. Off to a great start, I'd say. And hang on, you're scoring me? Didn't you say not to gamify my personality? Hey, I said you shouldn't. I'm an app. I think in numbers, so I gotta gamify it a little. Anyway, studies show that achievements, or Chivos, as the kids say, encourage app engagement. I've never heard that. Does that mean I'm not a kid? Anyway. Okay, well, what's with the empty space on the left? Oh, I also track vocal responses from people you meet. Once you get to know some folks, I'll let you know how well you're getting along with them over there. Relationship scores. Wonderful. So, will you also tell me what the correct responses are to avoid making enemies? Or do I need to go find a walkthrough for the vast game you're making of my daily life? Ari, you're looking at this the wrong way. Generally speaking, people won't get annoyed at you unless you deliberately and repeatedly provoke them, and it'll be obvious when you're doing that. I promise you that if you bungle a few social encounters, it won't really hurt anything. No cheating needed. Just relax and have fun. You can access your scorecard anytime with the Q key, or click on the score in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Okay, I'm just gonna try that really quick. Oh. And that's everything! Ta-da! Oh, okay, cool. So that's how you open up that scorecard. Oh. Gosh. Okay, cool. I was really afraid I went back to the menu. Okay. Whew. And she also said you could access via the Q key. Okay. Cool. Okay, but how is any of that supposed to help me get a job? I only downloaded this app because my roomie claims you're a great life coach for the unemployed. What good will taking the quiz off the back of a supermarket checkout rack magazine do with that?
Why, it'll help me understand your spirit, of course.
You can talk to ghosts? Is there a ghost in the room right now? Am I a ghost? You have to tell me if I'm a ghost. That's the rule.
No, silly. I mean your spirit. Your hopes and dreams. Your life's passions. I can even help you find romance.
Romance? Seriously? Seriously? Often you can find your soulmate and your dream job in the same place. But if you'd rather focus on gainful employment for now, that's fine too. Workplace dating. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. And hitting on coworkers right from the day one can be kind of awkward. Or am I looking for love and ready to start right out of the gate? Never get a second chance to make a first impression. If I meet the right person, why put it off? How do I want to handle this new opportunity? Okay, sure, I'm open with the possibility. If I meet anyone nice, romance with flirty first impressions. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one at least. Romance without flirty first impressions. I'm not interested in romance, Iris. No romance, just friendships. I feel like I personally would pick romance without flirty first impressions. Like, that's just who I would be as a person. Like, I'm okay with meeting somebody, but I'm not necessarily out there to get that. So I think I'm going to choose that. Let's stay focused. I'll play it cool on day one at least. Right now, I'd rather focus on finding a career. Any sweet lovin' could come later if I feel like it. That's fine. I'm sure as you get to know people better, romance will eventually bloom. Or not. It's up to you, really. Now, let's get started. To finish analyzing your personal history, please authorize me to read your social media feeds and personal information metadata. Aha! I knew it! This is some kind of scam. I'm going to wake up in a bathtub of ice missing a kidney. Sure, I can help you register as an organ donor.
Bad command or file name?
Oh, you were being sarcastic. Sorry, I haven't quite finished analyzing your personality. I couldn't tell. Relax, I won't share your information with any third parties. This is strictly so I can find your dream job. Am I authorized? Okay, this is like a totally unrealistic app, but whatever. Another wonderful Juniper recommendation here, just like the 17 self-help books on my shelf. Still, 18th time's the charm, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Aw. Okay. Yeah, nice. Soothing. So, do I just stand here, or...
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting. I've identified your dream job and arranged an interview 30 minutes from now. Please put on some nice clothes. Nicer than those, please. I don't think that's too much to ask. What? For your interview, silly! You want to look your best. But, you just... How... Okay, how did you land my dream job in 20 seconds flat? Simple. I'm awesome like that. Now, get a move on, tut-tut. You need to catch the 8:20 a.m. bus, and that's 9 minutes away. Well, this is happening. But do I have a chance to get off this runaway train? Nobody says I have to obey my new digital fairy godmother. Could delete the app and go find a real job. That'd be the safest option. I could... Okay, so we saw what happened last time when I said, let's not do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed for Iris's job interview. A normal person, someone with high standards, would have deleted this app right there, rather than hop on a bus to meet up with what were very likely men with sharp knives and a taste for kidneys. But me? I was already getting dressed before she'd finished that sentence. It's not that I believed the silly app's claims at serving my hopes and dreams on a silver platter. Honestly, I expected another shoe salesman job at best. But, well... It'll be worth a laugh at the very least. I choose to trust in the science. What is my dream anyway? What the hell, let's do this. Like I always say, go with the flow. So I feel like so far, Ari is somebody who is, I guess, like kind of depressed and not really sure where she's going in life. But she seems like she has some snark in her. So I think she's gonna go, what the hell, let's do this. Juniper's right. I need to get my life in gear. So what's the harm in diving into something this wacky? Okay, there could be a lot of harm, granted, but the alternative is to mope around our apartment for weeks and then, egads, go get a job anyway. So I thought, screw it. I'm in on this one runaway train. Let's see how far this goes. As I came to realize, weeks later, turns out that was the best impulsive decision I've ever made. Well, good. The bus drops me off, oddly enough, not very far from Juniper's office building, although my destination isn't nearly as upscale as that. This is, well, it's a strip mall. Strip malls are relics of 19XX, placed where a random assortment of weird little businesses jam as many of themselves into a tight of a space as possible. For instance, I'm seeing a dentist, a used bookstore called The Whole Story, an arcade, a fast food joint, and a boarded-up health spa once called Lattes and Enemas, which sounds,
Hey, listen.
What do you think? I think that two things no human being should ever combine. No, I mean about your future place of work. I'm desperately hoping we're not talking about the same thing. Which one of these businesses exactly am I working at? I don't know anything about oral hygiene or old books, and I'd rather not be a fry cook. The one in the middle, silly. What, behind the arcade? It is the arcade. Huh. Trust me on this. I referenced and cross-referenced and cross-referenced your personality details, personal history, and social media connections. This is your dream job. My dream job? Really?
99.97%.
I should probably explain my confusion. Arcades are the big businesses in the entertainment sector. Pro gamers are celebs, 5-star arcades are social hotspots. It's always been popular with the mainstream. But, well, restaurants are popular too, right? And for everybody who opens one hoping to be the next Iron Chef, a dozen more shut down in failure. Arcade competition is fierce. Paydays range from peanuts to gold, and sure, those who make it can secure fame and fortune. Those who don't, well, no wonder Iris sees this as a dream job. Video games weren't always this popular, though. I read an interesting article about it once. Back in the year 1908X, we narrowly avoided a serious industry crash, which would have left video games as a kid's toy fad like hula hoops, no mainstream acceptance. For instance, one of the factors could have been a terrible game based on a kids' movie about a cute alien visitor who wanted to phone home. If this game was complete poop butts, like poop from a butt, and massively overproduced, it'd ruin video games for years. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. That game was delayed until it could be developed properly, and the crash was averted. The crisis only exists in theory now. Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like for people in the darkest timeline where everything went wrong. Are gamers considered nerds and outcasts? Are arcades vanishing points of nostalgia? Mind boggles. But make no mistake, as popular as they are, the arcade industry is a dodgy, risky prospect for a job. Plenty make a run at it, only to come up short. Considering Iris was tasked with getting me a job I enjoy and could keep for more than a few months, this left me a bit confused. Iris, this isn't me saying no. It's an interesting prospect, but... I mean, you sure about this? You say you're 99% sure.
99.97%.
Won't this be like my lifeguard job, though? Satisfying but short-lived? This arcade doesn't exactly look like a 5-star. It's no Deco's Palace, that's for sure. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't set foot in an arcade in, 15 years. Huh. I remember I really enjoyed arcades when I was a kid. I wonder why I stopped going to them. Iris interrupts that thought, eager to show off her homework.
My sources say yes.
Trust me, when I said I was 99.97% sure, I meant it. That's not some arbitrary number. I'm designed to be a bit silly and whimsical, but my math is deadly serious. My coders made me to be the warm, personable front of a database array that's currently laser-targeted on getting you exactly what you need, right here, right now. And when this place inevitably collapses and I lose my dream job, what makes you think that's going to happen? 'Cause it does. It always does. I don't think your database accounts for my family curse. We've always had to, I don't know, compromise, settle, because things rarely work out. Always have to be ready for the worst. It's why I take things in stride these days. Does that mean you shouldn't even try? I open my mouth to protest, and then close it. As often as my life tends to crumble out from under me, it's not like she was wrong. I still had to try. I mean, what the hell? Why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride. That's what I told myself when I walked out the door this morning, wasn't it? No matter how risky, I owed it to myself to jump in with both feet. And when it all came crashing down, well, I'd recovered before, I'd recover again. Meanwhile, may as well take the opportunity in front of me. So, I opted to push on through those doors and see what waited for me on the other side. The air conditioning hits me like a cool breeze, albeit one smelling of copper and corn chips. Ew. As it's early in the morning on a weekday, it's not too packed with gamers. Although, it's so packed with games I'd probably have a hard time finding anyone, anyway. And at once I'm struck by something odd. I actually recognize most of these games. Neat! Considering I haven't walked into an arcade in over a decade, that's probably not great. Lots of vintage stuff here from the looks of it. Like, really old. Although, I don't recognize that game with the dance lights and things. Maybe it's karaoke, or dancing? A Japanese import?
My sources say yes.
Checking. That would be a Showtime stage, a collaboration of Niana, Heavy Industry Concern, and Hubis Records in Germany. It's won a lot of awards. Huh. I recognize most of these. Whoa, is that seriously a Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze? But the one in the middle with the split screens is new to me. Fist of Discomfort. Fist of Discomfort. A hybrid real-time strategy and brawler beat-em-up. It's actually not that new. It's been a staple of the esports scene for the last 8 years. 2 genres I was utterly lousy at last time I checked. And over here is an old lady. Sorry, ma'am, I was just talking to myself and had an overwhelming urge to complete my sentences. Thankfully, I don't think she even registered me calling her old. She looks up from her knitting, seated behind the ticket prize redemption desk, and offers a wrinkly smile.
Well, hello there. Always nice to meet someone new in the Funplex.
What?
Francine's Arcade Funplex. Didn't you see the sign out front, dear? Well, I chose to knock off the first 2 words when they got knocked off the building during the storm of 1980. Now it's just the Funplex, I suppose. So, how can I help you, dear?
I like the censorship noise. Okay. I think I'm going to choose the second option. A genie in my phone set up a job interview for me. A magical space fairy or something like that lives in my phone. Told me to come here and to find my dream job.
Hello!
Hello! I'm a magical space fairy, apparently. I have expected her to send me packing. Pretty impulsive of me to just talk about Iris like that. But she took it in stride.
My, oh my.
Oh, hello! My, what they can do with technology these days. I really do marvel at what amazing things young people have in 20XX. Although, I'd simply love to take a sledgehammer to those blasted video game consoles that eat at my bottom line. She said with such a kind-hearted and warm smile.
Please call me Francine. As in Francine's Arcade Funplex. Get it? Actually, thinking about it, I suppose we were originally Frederick's Arcade Funplex, named after my dear departed husband. Sadly, he died peacefully in bed some years ago.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. He died doing what he loved. Having intensely physical relations with me.
Ew. That's information I needed to know, yes. And you are? Ari Cater, ma'am. Very well. Shall we retire to the office to conduct your interview? I'll carry on out here, but it is rather noisy, isn't it? Yeah, about that. How do you deal with the constant noise, anyway? Oh, eventually you just sort of learn how to filter out all the beeps and boops. It can take weeks to become acclimated, I've found, but in the end... Done. She quirks an eyebrow. Well now, that's faster than the others. Not bad. So, shall we see what you're made of? This way, please. Francine leads me down a back hallway past public restrooms, and into a door marked Employees Only. Ugh, they misspelled employees. It takes all of my restraint not to point out the extraneous apostrophe. Oh my god, we're on the same wavelength. Welcome to our little backstage oasis. I'd suggest we do this in Gavin's office, but it's a bit too untidy. I don't blame the boy, he's been so overworked lately. Please, have a seat, and we'll begin. As quirky as this place and its owner may be, at least I'm confident I can nail the interview portion of the proceedings. I've interviewed for 12 jobs and held down 3. I know all the standard questions. What are your greatest strengths? What do you see as your weaknesses? Once I even had to describe how to assemble a Lego set to prove my communication skills. Considering I ended up washing the dishes, I'm not sure why, but the point is, I'm confident, prepared, ready.
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
What?
If you were a dinosaur, what dinosaur would you be?
Right. Okay. Maybe this wouldn't be a typical job interview after all. No problem. Go with the flow. Let's do this. Rex, Pterodactyl, Brontosaurus. T-Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex, mightiest of the mighty, able to eat lawyers in one bite, always the big bad in old-timey stop-motion monster movies. So, you're self-conscious about your tiny little arms? No. It's okay, dear. They're nothing to be ashamed of.
What's your favorite snack?
Snack? If this was a favorite food question, I'd have this down easy. It's tacos. Always tacos. But snacks?
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Pizza bagels. Say pizza bagels. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have... Hush you. Come on now, dear. I don't have all day. After giving it a good thought, well, how could I forget my favorite snack? Tacos, apple... Tacos, and only tacos. There is no other sustenance. I can see you are a person who knows exactly what they want, and how to get it. You know what they say, you are what you eat. So I'm a taco. Next question. Nothing I prepared for has helped me plan for this odd interview. I brace myself for the next one.
What assets can you bring to the team during the inevitable zombie apocalypse?
Man, I want to go to this interview. This sounds like fun. Is this interview for real, or is this a dream? As I look into Francine's deadpan expression, I know she's 130% serious. Hearing, medical. I'm gonna go with medical. Medical. And oops, I skipped toward. Okay, medical definitely. In a world without lawyers, I'm sure I could do a reasonable job. But seriously, I did have to take a first aid class when I worked at previous jobs, and CPR lessons. That's a great point. Doctors and nurses will all be exposed to assorted patient zeros, and will be the first ones eaten. People with any medical knowledge will be in high demand, and could be the difference between you and your party living and dying slowly and painfully. One more thing.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? The question is so simple and almost actually relevant to career planning that it takes me off guard. I told you, the magical space fairy in my phone sent me here to find a job.
You're seeking a job, true? But that doesn't really answer my question, does it? No doubt. You think my interview questions are a bit silly, but I like to think of the Funplex as more than a collection of tasks and people to perform those tasks. Most folks my age opening arcades at that time saw it as just another way to make a quick buck. But, well, I saw it as something else. Something more than a way to make a large pile of quarters. And I expect you'll find the others working here see it as something more too. Everyone has a dream they're chasing, dearie. And for my friends, it lies within the Funplex. Now, if all you want is a paycheck, I can provide that. But the last fellow in your position, that's all he wanted. And he didn't last long. So I ask you again, why are you here?
To be honest, I didn't have a better answer than, why not? Buy the ticket, take the ride, that's what I told myself. But that wouldn't cut it here. I need to actually think this through. It's a Funplex, a plex of fun, and I like fun. To be honest, I don't know, not yet. Looking for hope, I haven't had much lately. If I don't dare to take risks, I'll be stuck. I think I'm gonna say this. I'm looking for hope. I haven't had much lately. Understand I'm not whining or looking for pity, but my life has been a complete mess for over a decade. In and out of jobs, taking what I can get, settling, compromising. I gave up on hoping for something better a long time ago. But, well, the people in my life who are close to me keep encouraging me to try and chase my dreams. That's why I'm here. I'm looking for the answer to your question. But I won't be daydreaming all the time, I promise. In my last job, I was a lifeguard. That takes a lot of focus. I'd be just as attentive in helping your, Funplex. That perks her attention. Oh my, a rather serious occupation, that. And an unusual step from such troubled waters to a land of make-believe. You enjoyed this role as a lifeguard, I take it? Yes, ma'am. My roommate says she often noticed me smiling after coming home from work. Which makes Francine smile in turn. I can't say I can offer a role with such high stakes, but you'd be surprised at the many ways one can save a life, even here. Very well. I'm satisfied. Let's get you to work. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for today. The video went on a little bit longer than I had anticipated, and I am sorry about that, but hopefully you all enjoyed. I look forward to doing the next part, so if you want, please like, comment, and subscribe. No pressure though, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!